Hello, my dear friends. Let's start with the chapter 3 now. The sources of universal information. This is not meant to be a theological, philosophical, or religious discussion about the origin or creation of the universe. It is based purely on practical information that we have from thousands of sources. The universe is a single entity with an infinite number of parts. It is made up of an entire spectrum of energies from very low frequencies to very high frequencies. There is no actual division in the universe, yet humans have divided the universe into two different parts. One, the physical world, where the laws of physics apply. Both time and space exist and are real in this part of the universe. 2. The non physical or spiritual world, which goes beyond physics and is referred to as the metaphysical world. There is no time and no space in the non physical world. As humans, we exist in the physical world. Our human senses, the main source of our everyday information, only recognize some of the things in the physical world. And our science works with the laws of physics. As such, we have no direct way of sensing, measuring, or scientifically validating anything in the spiritual world. Let's talk about lower frequency means more separation. The lower the rate of vibration, the further is the separation of the entity in the universe. A solid vibrates at a lower rate than a liquid. A liquid vibrates at a lower rate than a gas, and so on. Now imagine a solid, such as an ice cube. It is easy to separate one ice cube from another. If the vibration of the ice cube is raised and it becomes liquid water, it is much harder to isolate the water of one cube from that of another. If the vibration of the water is raised further and it becomes steam, then it is impossible to separate steam into the parts that came from different ice cubes. Hence, the more we raise the vibrational frequency of any part, the closer towards oneness it moves. And the more we lower the vibrational frequency of any part, the more separation we create. Let's talk about dimensional shift leads us towards oneness. As planet Earth and mankind raise their own frequencies and move closer to the fourth dimension, the closer we move towards oneness. At a higher frequency, we become a higher level civilization because now we start functioning based on unconditional love instead of functioning from fear and control. As soon as we stop seeing others as different from us and start recognizing them as part of us, we stop being afraid. The moment we start operating from unconditional love for all, everything in our life and our world changes and becomes better. The moment we use this approach with everyone, no matter where they are from, all our problems get solved. Let's talk about only two forces in the universe. There are only two opposing forces in the universe. One, light, which raises our vibration and leads us closer to oneness. And two, darkness, which lowers our vibration and leads us to separation. The light force is the predominant force for the higher level civilizations, while the dark force is the predominant force for the lower level civilizations. We are currently in the process of moving from darkness into light. This is why the shift guarantees a very positive outcome and a society and quality of life so good that we can't even imagine right now. Now let's see the coexistence at many vibrational levels. Since the universe contains the entire spectrum of frequencies, many life forms exist simultaneously in what we may consider as the same space. It is just that we are not able to sense these since our abilities to sense these are very limited. Also, since we are at a low vibration here on earth, we are unable to see or sense others at higher vibrations. The normal human's sense perception is limited to less than about 0.5% of the total universal frequency spectrum. What that means is that we are unable to see or feel about 199 out of 200 things in the universe. With such a limited perception, is it any wonder that we fail to recognize the higher level civilizations that coexist with us? Now let's talk about the television set and the TV stations. Imagine you are in a place with a television set. However, the TV set is turned off. Every TV station that is there is playing a different program, and all the programs are right where you are. Yet, you cannot see or hear anything as long as the TV set is turned off. The moment you turn the TV set on and tune it to your particular channel, you start seeing and hearing a particular program. Yet, you only see and hear what is on that particular channel, but none of the programs on any of the other channels. Now, let's see the human mind is a television set. The human mind is just like the television set. It has the ability to see any and all of those programs if tuned to the right channel. However, just like the TV set, it can't tune itself. The mind is divided into two major parts, the conscious and the subconscious. Our conscious mind is our reasoning, thinking, logical mind that we use at all times when we are awake. Our subconscious mind is a storehouse of all our memories and all our experiences. It also controls all our autonomic functions, for example, our breathing, our heartbeat, our pulse, etc. Let's talk about our single channel TV set. Our conscious mind receives input from our human senses. It utilizes these inputs and thinks using the logic that we have been taught. This logic has become a part of our belief system. Since our senses are limited to our present reality, and we have been taught to logically recognize only our present reality, the conscious mind acts like a TV set that has a single channel preset to the channel of our physical world. All we ever experience is the three-dimensional world that we live in. Other experiences are not available to the conscious mind during our waking state. Let's talk about the multi channel TV set. Unlike the conscious mind, the subconscious mind has the ability to access the entire frequency spectrum of the universe. It is like a TV set that has every conceivable channel available. During our natural sleep, the conscious mind is actually asleep and the subconscious has control. That is why in our dreams we can have all kinds of experiences that the conscious mind could never even imagine. Dreams can incorporate the past, the present, and the future. Let's know about our vicious circle. The limitations of our conscious mind put us into our vicious circle. We need the conscious mind to be awake to recognize and experience and remember it. Yet, when the conscious mind is awake, it insists on retaining control. It doesn't want the subconscious to take control. But unless the subconscious takes control, the mind cannot access the entire spectrum of frequencies or the other levels where the higher level civilizations are. And if the conscious mind is asleep and the subconscious has control, then we do not recognize or remember our experience. So we have a real catch 22 situation. How do we break out of the vicious circle? The only way out is to get into an altered state of consciousness where the conscious mind is still awake but the control is with the subconscious. There are two ways of getting into such an altered state of consciousness: one, meditation, two, hypnosis. Who controls the remote for the TV set? Once we get into the altered state where the subconscious has the ability to access all the channels, it is as if we have replaced our single channel TV set for a multi channel TV set. However, just switching TV sets doesn't solve our problems. The question is, who is going to use the remote and change the channels on this TV? In deep meditation, at times people do have various experiences which may be classified as supernatural. However, they have no control over what kind of experience, if any, they will have in any particular meditation session. Since there is no guidance or control for the subconscious mind to tune into any particular channel. Hence, meditation cannot be used as a reliable source of exploration for finding specific information. Let's talk about the hypnotist to the rescue. Whereas a person induces the meditative state himself, hypnosis is normally induced for him by the hypnotist. Under hypnosis, the subject's subconscious mind has control and thus has the ability to access any channel or any frequency level on the multi channel TV set. At the same time, the hypnotist's conscious mind is fully in control and is guiding the person under hypnosis. Thus, the hypnotist can now put the subject in contact with any of the higher level civilizations. All he has to do is suggest that the channel is being changed. The hypnotist, in effect, is operating the remote for the TV set that is the subject's subconscious mind. Wow, we now have the total access to the universe. That is the power of spiritual hypnosis. Sources of information for this book are: information for this book has come from two major sources. One, spiritual hypnosis, used with thousands of subjects around the world, by the author and by other spiritual hypnotists on all six continents. Literally, thousands of hours of transcripts from the hypnosis sessions on thousands of subjects have been utilized to come up with this book at the New World and the transition to the fourth dimension. You may see the qualifications of the author on the book jacket. 2. Channeled information from various higher level beings that are specifically involved in helping planet Earth transition to the fourth dimension. Since many beings are helping us, they channel through individuals who are open and receptive to this information. This is the end of this chapter. Thank you.